gets rewritten, who remembers what really happened? We do. KBLA Talk 1580. Black media isn't just important right now, it's essential. Because when mainstream outlets move on, we stay. When the headlines ignore our communities, we don't. When decisions are being made that affect Black lives in our schools, our neighborhoods, our economy, KBLA is in the room. This is more than radio. This is a lifeline, a record, a rallying cry. Black stories, Black voices, Black power.
The heat is on.
On the air and in the culture. KBLA Talk 1580. Stay connected. Stay informed. Stay loud.
Stand up.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
You know what the dowry system was about?
God. The purchasing of women?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was effectively the slave trade for women.
Teenage women, too, because they liked them young.
Yeah. Men, fathers, would get together and effectively barter to sell their children.
And you think, like, oh, that was such a long time ago. Okay, but I think it ended probably around right at the 1900s.
If on average your grandma lives to be 80, 90, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 Grammys away.
2 grandmas ago!
2 Grammys away.
2 grandmas ago, they were selling people. Your great grandma was sold.
Andy, who was that? What in the world? One Rock Pod, and they were talking about the dastardly history of the dowry. So this topic was given to me because I guess people just want me to do ratchet conversations. And you know me, I don't like ratchetness, right? I'm sorry. Forgive me. I just don't. So I had to take this topic because it is a terrible topic, the dowry. And it was used to basically purchase your wives. Old time. There's still cultures that still do it. But of course I had to put my twist on the dowry. Tonight's topic. And well, let me give you the backstory for why this topic came about. Brothers that I have conversation with was like, man, you need to do shows that are, or some shows that are empowering to young men. You say, well, how does the dowry play into this? I said, yeah, I'm going to take the dowry and flip it. Somebody gave me this topic. Like, we were literally having a discussion, and then the topic popped out of the discussion. You know, men were talking about women. They trying to break us because they pretty. We got to pay for everything. Then the Meg Thee Stallion and Clay hit. I was like, okay, I got to do a separate show for that. So, you know, we're having this deep, insightful discussion. And then this topic that I'm doing tonight popped out. The psychological dowry. Yes, the psychological dowry. Right? And it came from this space of, how do you get young men to choose better women? Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive to everybody, right? Women are doing the choosing, right? Men should never see themselves, young men should never see themselves as the prize, right? Right? The Bible says when you find a good wife, you find a good thing. But I believe both genders are important in this story, in this narrative. The psychological dowry. How do you raise a young man to honor and cherish his integrity, his self-respect, his dignity? How do you get him to not get caught up chasing, you know, a pretty young thing, a PYT, right? She has to come with something more than just being a PYT, right? How do we get young men to honor their inner sovereignty? I'm tired of the one-way talks. Oh, sister, you got to honor your inner sovereignty. Well, what about the brothers? What about the young men? Right? Oh, the sisters, they're out on a retreat. Oh, the sisters, they're doing a healing circle. What about the brothers? Right? So I took the concept of the dowry. Now, we recontextualize the historical context of the dowry, right? Recontextualizing the historical dowry as modern psychological capital. If you got resources, young man, you done made a name for yourself. You went to school, you got degrees, you got a career, you're doing things. She can't just be pretty. She has to pay the psychological dowry. Oh, Zoe don't like women. No, women don't like getting called out on their mess. And I'm an equal opportunist. I call out the brothers, I call out the sisters. Nobody wants to get called out. Okay, cool. What if young men were educated to insist on a psychological dowry? And of course, this can go both ways, right? Sisters, you can use this model as well. But the topic was, how do we get men to choose better for themselves? You know, when relationships end for men, especially with women they loved, typically men are destroyed internally. And they carry that destruction on into other relationships. Am I lying? Somebody call in and check me. 1-800-920-1580. Call in. I need to hear what you have to say. Recontextualizing the historical dowry as modern psychological capital. What if men started saying this? This is the tax, right? You got to come in with receipts for resolved trauma, nervous system regulation. Your expectations of me cannot be secret right? Silent regulation for your wounds. What? You got to come in here with nervous system regulation intact. You got to come in here with radical self-ownership. Oh, you got to come in here with real-time interception, self-interception practices, and a disciplined psychological diary required for... Is this wrong for me to ask? Am I asking the wrong... Listen. Men are expected to be providers. We're expected to take the bullet. We're expected to be protectors. We're expected to be upright leaders and good citizens. What happens now if the price for that is you got to pay psychological capital? You got to come in at least working on resolving the trauma, nervous system regulation, or radical self-ownership, accountability, real-time self-interception practices, right? You can't come in with the compounding luxury tax of unintegrated patterns, projections, and unpaid emotional labor. This is a historical reckoning. The modern psychological dowry. Why the bride's family once paid in land and gold, and why you now pay in consciousness or get taxed in your peace. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Modern day relationships? I just need somebody to bring me some peace. You mean with all that black girl magic, you haven't learned to cultivate your own? I've got to bring you peace? Am I wrong for asking these questions? Tonight's topic, if you're just tuning in, the modern psychological dowry. If you come into this relationship and you haven't been working on self, and I mean really working on self, you got to pay a relational tariff. You got to pay like back in the day. Back in the day, they had cows and tents and sheep and 400 heads of goat. You got to pay if you come to this relationship with a compounding luxury tax of unintegrated patterns, projections, lack of accountability, and unpaid emotional labor. Now, it's easy to flip it both ways. Sure, women, you could use this same model. But we had a conversation today with some brothers, and the brothers said, so, how do we talk to the youngsters? Right? The brothers young men need to understand, you are not made by a woman who gives you attention, sir. Huh? You are made by wounds you conquer. What? So say, yeah. See, whatever is in you, young man, you are made by conquering that. Do you know how many women get with men who haven't conquered their internal demons, but because they got bread, women stay? And then they go into nurture management mode? Who am I talking to? 1-800-920-1580. Come on, ladies. Don't act like you don't do it. The toxicity in you that nurtures for a payoff. What? Who? What? Yeah, you nurturing because you want to be validated. You want to be acknowledged. You want a receipt for the love you get. 1-800-9. I had to come talk this real today. It's just Monday, right? Nobody want to talk now. Now that we have a real conversation, don't nobody want to talk right now. Who's ready to pay, right, the psychological dowry? You come in here broken, you got to pay a dowry. Now, if we look at the average folk, that would be most folk, right? If you expect me to accept you as you are and you're self-avoidant, you don't want to look at yourself, you don't want to take responsibility for what is orphaned, repressed, suppressed, and disliked and disowned in your own spirit, but I'm supposed to bring you peace and happiness? Come on, young man. You got to learn how to see that. And the best way to see that, young man, is to see it in yourself first. You should be tired of wound dating right now. Yes, wound dating. Oh, this is deep. Ooh, this is deep. Are y'all ready for tonight's topic? I don't know. Is this too much? Young kings, the war for your peace begins before you ever met her. Historically, the dowry was never about romance. It was the culturally legitimate slave trade for women. Fathers and male kin gathered like merchants at an auction. This was deplorable. They were bartering teenage daughters as prizes. They liked them young. And then they sold them into marriage for land, gold, and household security. Your great-grandmother was probably trafficked. That transaction moved her from one male ledger to another as property. Yes, this is facts. Today, the auction block has moved inside the woman herself. The unhealed woman now sells herself into emotional slavery the moment she steps into relationship carrying unpaid internal debt. Nobody wants to hear me put it that way. Unresolved trauma, hijacked nervous systems, patterns she refuses to intercept. She arrives already indentured to her own survival scripts, offering her dysregulation as the new bride price, while demanding the sovereign man subdue her. Hold on. We getting close. When we come forward, the voice of reason. Did Clay say he wish he didn't spend $4 million? Oh, Lord. When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to keep this fire lit.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, host of The Voice of Reason, weeknights at 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580, with a personal invitation for you to join me and Insight.me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Bakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of Black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You 20? And you live in this village? Yes. You got a husband? You don't? Wow. Who your mom? Who your dad? Oh. You know the owner, right? Where he's at? Him right here.
Yeah, daughter.
Oh, that's your daughter?
Yes, my first daughter.
Oh.
You want to give me cows?
Huh?
You want to give me some cows?
Yeah.
So propose, then do I come with your family, then we negotiate.
How many cows do I have to give you so I can marry her?
17.
What in the slavery? What was that, Andy? Who? I Show Speed, that's who that is? And the dude offered him his daughter for 17 cows. Christ. Men should be ashamed. Literally. Every man comes from a woman. Men should be ashamed of the treatment historically that we have laid at the feet of women. I gotta be honest. Monstrous. I've been monstrous. Right? But I'm talking about young boys, right? Who should understand the spiritual aspect of relationship. Being a man is not just about dominance and control and rulership, and it's not just that, right? Real, authentic rulership is born out of self-interception, or what I like to call self-conquering. There are wounds that need to be intercepted from within, unless you want them to be reflected from without. So, because of gender roles, men think I can be unhealed, but I can fill the two most popular roles that is asked of me, which is provide and protect. I keep saying the gender roles do not have a special caveat in its definition that talks about being healed, being regulated. This self-conquering, going in and conquering through self-empathy and love, non-judgmental observation. Men haven't been taught to process feelings and emotions that way. Right? What's the best revenge? A man said, become massively wealthy. That was Tony Robbins. The best revenge is to become a capitalist. Right? But I'm saying if we're teaching a new generation of young men to choose the proper woman for himself that mirrors his inner healing, then if a dowry is to be paid or a bride price, sure, I will protect, I will provide, I will do all the things you need me to do. But if you're unhealed, there will be a luxury tax you gotta pay. And why would a man accept the luxury tax and bring in an unhealed woman? I just want us to think about this. Wow. The unhealed woman now sells herself into emotional slavery. We know women do this all the time. They pick the bad boy. They pick the broken boy, the unhealed boy, because he's exciting. The unhealed woman now sells herself into emotional slavery the moment she steps into relationship carrying unpaid internal debt, unresolved trauma, hijacked nervous system, patterns she refuses to intercept. She arrives already indentured to her own survival scripts, offering her dysregulation as the new bride price while demanding the sovereign man subsidize her captivity through the intimate relationship luxury tax. Before you choose the right woman, you must first choose yourself. With surgical finality, young man, you must intercept your own internal issues, your father wounds, your mother wounds, your unexamined triggers, your amygdala-driven survival scripts. Do you understand, young men? You want a great woman, you gotta be a great man first. When we come forward, the voice of reason is gonna keep this fire burning.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The White House may increase President Trump's security after Saturday's assassination attempt. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles is meeting with the Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security this week to review protection plans.
There's no higher priority for the president and his staff than the president's safety.
Leavitt says President Trump was pleased with the Secret Service response, but officials are looking at ways to tighten security at large events. Former President Barack Obama is urging Americans to reject political violence after the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In a post on X, Obama said violence has no place in democracy and thanks Secret Service agents for their courage. And popular video game Fortnite is refunding players who bought in-game items tied to black singer David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke. The refund comes as Burke remains behind bars on suspicion of murdering 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Vegas summers start by the pool. Find poolside luxury at Aria, iconic elegance at Bellagio, and vibrant energy at the Cosmopolitan. Relax, sip, and earn with MGM Rewards. Plan your escape today at mgmrewards.com.
Stand up! When the story gets twisted, who's going to tell the truth? When they cut the microphones, who's still talking? When history gets rewritten, who remembers what really happened? We do. KBLA Talk 1580. Black media isn't just important right now, it's essential. Because when mainstream outlets move on, we stay. When the headlines ignore our communities, we don't. When decisions are being made that affect black lives in our schools, our neighborhoods, our economy, KBLA is in the room. This is more than radio. This is a lifeline, a record, a rallying cry. Black stories, black voices, black power.
The heat is on.
On the air and in the culture. KBLA Talk 1580. Stay connected. Stay informed. Stay loud.
Stand up!
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Stay informed with 24/7 power outage alerts from LADWP delivered straight to your phone or email when an outage occurs. Get notified when there's a major outage and again when your power is restored. Track up to 3 neighborhoods, like your home, your workplace, even a family member's. Stay connected. Stay informed. Sign up at ladwp.com/outage alert. That's ladwp.com/outage alert. Sign up today at ladwp.com/outage alert.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Every voice matters, especially the ones they told to be quiet. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
The joint will be jumping. Ebony Repertory Theater, in association with Fig Street Films, brings you one of the most beloved musicals of all time. Tony Award winner, Ain't Misbehavin'. The soulful, swinging celebration of the music of Fats Waller. From the rollicking to the romantic, this show is pure magic, full of the songs that defined an era and the voices that'll make you forget everything else for a night. Foot stomping, heart stirring, unforgettable. Don't miss Ain't Misbehavin' at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center, starring Lettucey, directed by Ren T. Brown. This is the night out you've been waiting for. Tickets are going fast, so don't wait. Grab yours now at ebonyrep.org or call the box office today at 323-964-9766. Ebony Repertory Theater, bringing the culture, keeping the legacy alive.
Ain't Misbehavin' runs May 21st through June 8th at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Get your tickets now.
You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
There have been many different things written and said about marriage, from the sweetly inspirational to the hilariously cynical. But what many of them have in common is that they sound like they express a universal and timeless truth, when in fact, nearly everything about marriage, from its main purpose to the kinds of relationships it covers to the rights and responsibilities involved, has varied greatly between different eras, cultures, and social classes. So let's take a quick look at the evolution of marriage. Pair bonding and raising children is as old as humanity itself. With the rise of sedentary agricultural societies about 10,000 years ago, marriage was also a way of securing rights to land and property by designating children born under certain circumstances as rightful heirs. As these societies became larger and more complex, marriage became not just a matter between individuals and families, but also an official institution governed by religious and civil authorities. And it was already well established by 2100 BC, when the earliest surviving written laws in the Mesopotamian Code of Ur-Nammu provided many specifics governing marriage, from punishments for adultery to the legal status of children born to slaves. Many ancient civilizations allowed some form of multiple simultaneous marriage, and even today, less than a quarter of the world's hundreds of different cultures prohibit it. But just because something was allowed doesn't mean it was always possible. Demographic realities, as well as the link between marriage and wealth, meant that even though rulers and elites in ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Israel had multiple concubines or wives, most commoners could only afford one or two, tending towards monogamy in practice. In other places, the tables were turned.
Don't tell me monogamy was just for poor people. Is that not what's happening now? Oh, this topic is crazy tonight. The psychological dowry and the luxury tax. All you got to do is show me that you've been healing. The relationship is good to go. You haven't been healing? There's an intimate luxury tax that you got to pay. Tonight's topic is wild. And I'm framing it from the perspective of how do I get young men? Now, in 2015, my son, my oldest son, was one of the top high school kids coming out. Right? One of only 2 kids to come from the West Coast to get offers from the SEC. Right? I think it was him and Tyler Dorsey. There was only 2 kids from the West Coast that went to the SEC. But on all of these trips you go on, these visits to college, you get 5 official visits. We went on a bunch of unofficial visits. These are second-tier schools that were just trying to make a pitch. They knew they probably couldn't get him. He was too big of a recruit. They knew they don't get those type of guys, but we went on those visits anyway. And what was interesting, when we went to San Diego State, there was a whole portion of their, of their visit protocol that educated the young recruits on watch out for the older female students who know you're a top 10 or top 15 or top 20 recruit. So they're going to give you the keys to their car. They're going to let you stay in their place. They're going to bring you food. It's going to be love. It's going to be great. But they're angling towards something. They literally had a whole section that was teaching this. This conversation was born out of a conversation I've had at the cigar lounge. Men think conquering the world means conquering women. And we did it by force in the past. And the dowry was monstrous. Because guess what? Dowry, bride price, all that. Basically, it was men selling women to their partners. But tonight's topic is waxing metaphoric. Oftentimes, women sell themselves into servitude by ignoring their inner work and building the scaffolding of expectations that are really just pre-regulation requests. If you behave this way, if you show up the way I need you, if you do this, you think you're vetting him. What you're doing is getting him to conform to your wound. You're in slavery to your own work. And many women will stay in relationships with toxic men if they protect and provide. Am I wrong? Call me out on it. 1-800-920-1580. We got time for callers? I want to get them in. Okay, hold tight. We're gonna come forward, and then we're going to the phone lines. Let's get busy.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
You better work. She's rooted in culture and rising in power. Los Angeles City Council member Karen D. Price Jr. invites you to the District 9 Women's Leadership Summit, a powerful gathering celebrating the women who shape our communities. Join us Sunday, May 3rd from 1 to 6 p.m. Registration is open now, but space is limited. District 9 residents receive special priority. This event is free. Call 323-8 323-846-2651 to reserve your spot. That's 323-846-2651. Be rooted, be powerful, be there.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. These are hard times for housing in America. Too many in our community face barriers to safe housing, behavioral health care, and affirming spaces for healing, particularly those impacted by poverty and stigma or incarceration. Rooted in South LA, Ahmad supports impacted communities through housing, wellness, and leadership development. Ahmad provides culturally responsive, peer-led support from transitional housing and mental health services to leadership development and youth empowerment. They offer safe, affirming houses for youth, transgender women, and formerly incarcerated individuals. Therapy and peer support with a focus on healing trauma in Black communities. HIV prevention and care, free testing, education, and wraparound services for whole person wellness. Standing in the gap with health, housing, and hope. Reach out to Ahmad Institute at 323-569-1610. That's 323-569-1610. Or visit amaad.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, hey.
The sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world and all that you wish for, and even more. Girl, I'll love you more than you could know, and that's for sure. I climb the highest hill, cross the widest sea. Nothing could discourage me, and I pray that you'll be always there for me forevermore. Oh, ready or not, I'll give you everything and more. All that I've got is yours.
What is the history of dowry? Have you ever wondered how the practice of dowry came to be? This custom has a rich history that spans across various cultures and time periods. At its core, dowry involves the transfer of property, goods, or money from the bride's family to the groom or his family at the time of marriage. It was originally intended to provide financial security for the bride, especially in cases of marital issues or widowhood. Additionally, dowry served as compensation for the bride's family for the loss of her labor and reproductive potential. In many societies, especially those engaged in intensive plow agriculture, dowry acted as a form of inheritance. This allowed property to be passed down to daughters, which is quite different from societies practicing extensive hoe agriculture. In those cases, property is usually inherited by children of the same sex as the property holder, and a bride price is often paid instead. The evolution of dowry practices has been shaped by socioeconomic factors. For instance, in regions like South Asia, dowry became a necessity for marriage.
Listen, it's 2026. We're not in medieval times. Listen. If you're unhealed and you want to be with somebody and you want them to provide for you and tolerate your dysregulated states, what are you willing to pay them? I call it the intimate luxury tax. What are you willing to pay them? That's unrealistic to ask. No, it's not. If you know you've done no work and your expectations are a secret couched way to get them to co-regulate you, listen to what I'm saying. Don't you think you owe them something? By definition, would you be a parasite? I'm asking young men, conquer yourself now. Love yourself now. Right? Deal with whatever fracture raised you. Yes, your parents were fractured in some way. Potentially. Probably. Deal with that fracture before you deal with a woman. Right? If you could give this radio show to young men. Listen to this, man. The world will feed off of what you ignore within yourself. The world will find that weakness and break you down from the inside out, young man. If you want a great woman, you got to learn how to be a great man. What is a great man? It's not just conquering the external world. It's conquering the internal world. So many men are made and destroyed by a woman's attention. So many men don't know how to be at peace by themselves. So many men are so quick to put on them damn tap dancing shoes, right? And buck and dance a jig for some feminine attention. I get it. I understand it. It's natural. But when you're unhealed, you put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of, young man. Do you understand? Now, I don't know. I'm going to do this topic tomorrow. I don't know. But Clay, it's alleged that he said the girl was asking for $700,000 a month. He spent $4 million. What is going? Listen, that's not relationship. That's high-level performance. Here's a Maybach. Here's this. Here's that. We're going here. We're taking pictures of food. That's not relating. Ooh, 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here right now. John from Mountain View, Hawaii. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What in the trauma facts are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, you ready for this work, huh?
Well, if everybody was ready for this work, there would be one initial question that needs to be asked, and everybody can answer the question.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, first off, let's go through the trauma facts. Let's go through the trauma prenup. Let's go through the trauma trust.
The trauma trust, the trauma prenup. Hey, this is the luxury tax. If you broken, you gotta pay a luxury tax to be with me. Do you know men always are told that women are the prize? What if we taught the young men, no, you're the prize, brother. If she's unhealed, but she wants to be with you, and you so happen to like her, there has to be some tax paid. This is a new world, right?
let it be the new world that everybody is telling us to accept, because we have been told now womanhood is this, and it's the reason why we're not in relationships now, because nobody wants to be a part of the game.
I'm listening.
But let's go here, because I need to be quick. Right now I'm still sore. That's the reason why I'm on the phone. I can't move. Jesus. In the auspices of trying to build a relationship, and you got this trauma tax, or you got this trauma paperwork that you're finally showing me the facts thereof.
Mm-hmm.
You're also telling me the prenup you have set already, the trauma prenup, because again, for me to get in a relationship with you, this is the prenup you're setting for me to pay for. And it's me paying for it, not you.
Right.
And you also have it in a trust because it will be a continual effort to keep it hidden and also thriving for you only.
Right. Yes.
But the question is, since we're supposed to be doing this together, and my belief is it's not she's the prize or he's the prize. You're both jewels in the process. The relationship is the prize.
Right. I'm riding with you. Let's go. We're cooking.
But the question that should be on everybody's tip of their tongue, which again, it takes the universal work that you're all headed toward, and it's supposed to happen in the relationship. When was the last time you heard your inner voice? And have you identified who that voice is?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you start there, because again, this was my journey. This is where I began. And when I found out my voice was me, hello, little guy. Hey, little bro. How you doing, man? Blessings to you. But nonetheless, this would probably be one of the first questions you ought to ask when it comes to trying to build a relationship with someone instead of their favorite color or what they like to eat. How often have you listened to your inner voice? How many times have you sat down and said, you know what? Inward is where I need to go, not performing outwardly. But this voice is the one that draws you closer. Just like the voice of the devil, which again will give you anything and everything that is attractive to you and you'll go chase.
Mm-hmm.
Your inner voice is the one that's supposed to invite you to come in, and it's very familiar. That's the reason why you need to identify who it is. Otherwise, you're following someone in darkness that you don't need to be led by.
Love it. Great work.
But nonetheless, bring the piece of light. The piece of light, not the P-I-E-C-E, but the P-E-A-C-E
Yes,
of
sir.
light you need to walk in that darkness. I'm done.
I love it, man. Guess what you just did, man?
Blessings to all. God, I need to recover. Mountain View's in the house.
Mountain View is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to Jamaica, Queens, New York.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The White House may increase President Trump's security after Saturday's assassination attempt. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles is meeting